All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. They work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ASAP Talk on All Sports, All Plays Network, where our typical job is to provide you with excellent sports debate coverage. That's why I said debate. And I don't know if Freddie got enough left in him to bring a debate, but we're going to try to squeeze every last inch of it. For you guys, Freddie, you just hold your horses because this show is brought to you by... Today's show is brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry. All products are all lead and nickel. All products are $5. Special offer for ASAP Sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazziaccessories.com where the promo code is 160920. If you guys enjoy vibing with us today, don't forget to like, share, comment, do whatever you got to do to get this show up and out to the masses. I'm JJ McLovin. I'm your crazy host. We got my boy Freddie up in the left, Chris up in the right, and the boy Cam at the bottom left. Say what's up to the people.
Yo. This thing going, man. I'm ready.
Man, what's up, everybody? I'm not ready to hear Freddie delusional takes, but it's something we got to get used to now.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm ready. Hey, ready to get after it, man. Ready to debate some sports. Let's get it.
Hey, so here's the deal. I do got one disclaimer to put out real quick. I got to apologize for the post-game show on Game 4 of the World Series. I did say that Arozarena would be the first rookie MVP. And Brandon Herrera, he did better research than I did. And he called me up and he said, Jay, you're just wrong. You're wrong. That's not true. And I said, dang. I had to go back to my trusted research devices, and I said, you know what? You're right. He wasn't. So there were two others, one I believe in 2004 and another one back in the early 50s. I don't have their names brought up right now, but there were two others. So he technically, if he does get it, he would be the third rookie to get it. But that's still a pretty impressive feat if you ask me. ASAP Real Talk. You can catch us every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. Don't forget that. Guys, you guys ready to get this party started?
Yes, sir.
Ready.
Let's get it.
All right. As I pull up our topics now, I see the first one is going to talk about Todd Gurley, the blame for the loss against the Lions. I don't know. I'll go real quick. I'm just going to get my 2 cent spill, and then we'll go around the horn. I don't think so. I think that game was lost in other facets. I think, Todd Gurley probably should have, for clock management, should have stopped before the goal line. But hey, it is what it is and happened what happened. But I think he's probably about 40-50% because of the clock management issue. But the other 50% was on that offense and defense and the rest of the team, the coach. I mean, all the other factors that go into it. So we're going to start around the horn. Freddie, take us on. What you think?
Oh, man. To me personally, I think if you know the weakness of your team, you have to be smart. If you know you're not sound on defense, you got to be smart. Todd Gurley knows that their defense is not good, and their Chris Brown shaking his head. But if you know if you have a weakness on the defensive end, then why would you try to let your defense try to save the game for you? So maybe Todd Gurley should have used the clock better in his hands, in my opinion.
Chris, what you got, baby? Oh, hold on. Before you go, Brandon Herrera says the blame for the losses, not on scoring more points. Okay, I can see that. Chris, what you got on that?
So, Freddie, you're saying you're blaming Todd Gurley. That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying I'm blaming him, but I'm just saying if you know your weakness,
he's at fault. So the head coach is not at fault for not kneeling the ball. Why are you running the ball anyway? That's not on Todd Gurley. I mean, he's getting hit. Of course, his momentum is going to carry him to the end zone when they're at the 9-8 yard line inside the red zone. Why are they not kneeling the ball? Todd Gurley, he could have scored. He couldn't have scored. That's not on him. It's not on him. The head coach should have kneeled the ball. Finish the clock, finish the game. I don't know why you're running the ball anyway. You should have known that if he's trying to hit contact, make sure he's not going to fumble. His momentum just might carry him into the end zone. I don't understand why they're running the ball. I don't blame Todd Gurley at all. And then on that defensive side, get a stop. I don't care if the defense is weak. It's still on you to get a stop at the first place. Do you believe he got in? I think he got in. I honestly think he got in, but I don't blame him. And that defense, they should have known he had to get a stop. They should have stepped up. So regardless, none of this blame is on Todd Gurley. It's on the head coach, the coordinator for calling a stupid run play when all you had to do was kneel the ball. And when you're in the red zone, when a minute left, the team has no timeouts. And then it's on the defense for not getting a stop, not stepping up. Todd Gurley's not to blame.
All right, Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
Man, Todd Gurley has to have better situational awareness. At this point in time. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. Now, I would expect one of my sixth graders to score a touchdown there, but not Todd Gurley in the sense where he got hit. I watched the play. He got hit at the 5 yard line. He drugged the defender about 3 yards. So just go down at that point. Go down. Once you got tackled at the about 4 yard line, go down. You're at the 3. Then you can waste clock. And then you can go ahead and kick the field goal, and it's like an extra point. And then you kneel on the next down. I mean, because I'm not a fan of kicking a field goal early on second down or anything like that. No, get as close as you can, make it an extra point, and kick the field goal. I'm not about to put that defense on the field, period. They've given up 30-point leads for crying out loud. So I'm definitely not going to trust them to stop for one touchdown. No, absolutely not. You got to have better situational awareness.
You're a smart man, Coach.
What about the head coach, though, for calling the play? I mean, like, they had no timeouts. You could have kneeled the ball and got it over with. They called the run play for I don't know what. I understand what you're saying. He has to have better situational awareness. But, I mean, his head is down. The momentum could have dragged him. He tried to stop himself at the end. It was only 3 yards. I mean, he tried. But at the end of the day, when you have 0 timeouts, your head coach, the offensive coordinator, whoever's calling plays for that team should understand, they have no timeouts. I can kneel the ball and get it over with. What are you running for anyway? So I understand about the situational awareness, but I mean, the same argument can be made for the head coach. He's the one calling the plays. He's the one that's supposed to have the best situational awareness in my eyes.
Yeah, go ahead. You got a rebuttal?
Yeah, well, kind of. I agree with both of you guys, but like you said, Chris, you do have to blame the coach, but you do have to blame Gurley because I mean he's not a rookie running back. He should have known what's on the other side of the field. He should have known that he does not have because they don't have the best defense. I just don't believe in putting the hands of the defense to save you that game, and he should have known that. He should have had the awareness, just like the coach. But you have to know what's on the other side of the field. In my opinion.
You got one more rebuttal.
It's going to be quick. I understand what you're saying, but he has to run hard to make sure he doesn't fumble. They're punching the ball. So it's not like he can tiptoe and they can smack him and try to strip him. So I understand what you're saying, but regardless, it's on the head coach. Todd Gurley did his job as a running back. He had to run hard so he wouldn't fumble. He ended up scoring a touchdown. That's fine. The defense has to step up and the head coach. Todd Gurley, in my eyes, gets a pass.
I want to understand this real straight. This is my own personal rebuttal to all this crazy stupidness.
Okay.
I want to understand what you guys are telling me. You're telling me we're going to put we're going to put the blame on a guy who's productive, and we're not going to hold the defense accountable for holding up their end of the bargain. Is that what we're saying? Is that really what we're saying?
I agree with you.
Wait a minute. We're going to do this the right way, Dave Chappelle. You're going to put that little hand up, and I'm going to call upon you. That's how this is going to happen. I don't know how you do it on your podcast, but on my show, you're my way to the highway. What you got, Freddie?
I definitely agree with you with what you're saying, Jay, but guess what?
With it.
But you gotta understand, you are what you are, and if you know you're not a good defensive team, which they're not, they don't pride themselves on the defensive end. So it comes upon a time where you need to be smart on the offensive end. Like Chris said, it do start with the coach.
Let's wait. Listen to the question. The question was stated: what was the cause for the loss? The cause for the loss wasn't the mistake your boy made because your defense is lousy. The cause for the loss is your defense is freaking horrible, and that's why you lost the game. Not because he fell into the end zone, because he's trying to cover up for how bad your defense. The basic root answer is this team lost because their defense was garbage. That's
But they knew that before, Jay. They knew that before.
I mean,
they already knew that. They still had a chance to win the game.
We've seen bad defenses make stops before, Freddie, and they're not. And there's worse defenses than them that made stops against better teams. So it's regardless. I said my point. I'm gonna stop talking.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? That's kind of where this argument would go, right? I mean,
yes.
Is one, and that's the other. Which one was the worst? I get it, man. Look, it's your own personal opinion, but I think both answers are probably correct. Yeah, if I know my defense is trash, I probably should have taken the knee. But at the same time, the root of it all is your defense sucks, and that's where your problems are going to lie. Not just this win, but future wins. So you still got to deal with it in the future when Todd Gurley is doing the right thing by not scoring because your defense is soft. We're going to go to the next question because I'm about to have a coronary. So our next question. Oh Lord, I just went messed up. My bad, fellas. I lost my topics. Hold on one second. So our next topic is the Packers. Are they a real championship contender? I'm gonna go first and be like, yeah, of course they are. Their record states that right now, currently, the way their roster is, they're playing good ball. So yeah, they are a championship caliber team. Will they get there? I don't know. We still got a long ways to go. But as of right now, I would put them in, contention in that conversation for sure. What do y'all think? This time we're going to go counterclockwise. Dave Chappelle, Chris Cam, Coach Cam, what you got?
All right, McLovin. No. Are they a contender? Yes, they are a contender technically. However, do I trust them? No. Any team that's physical with them, they get bullied. They get bullied right off the block, and it was very evident with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers what they did to them. And if I see a team like the Arizona Cardinals, who's very physical as well, a team like the 49ers, if they make it to the playoffs, I think that'll be a 3-team division that makes it to the playoffs with the NFC West. They see one of those teams. I don't see them beating them. It's just because the physicality of those teams just give the Packers trouble.
Okay. Hey, what you got, Chris Brown?
Man, I have to agree with that. By default, yes, they're a contender, but I have a lot of questions when it comes to this Packers team. I mean, for starters, when you look at their record, yes, they're 5-1, but you look at the only two, very good teams they played. The New Orleans Saints, they won by 7. They gave up 30, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers scored 38, and they only scored 10. So there's an argument that can be made that's saying, okay, against good teams, where are they at? Can they withstand the physicality? Can their defense step up? Can their offense make plays? Now, yes, I like this team. I think they're very, very good. But they do scare me, and I have some questions about them. Looking at their schedule, they have San Fran week 9. You have Indianapolis week 11, Chicago week 12, and week 17, Tennessee week 16. Those are some physical teams that are going to get after this Packers team. So I would like to see how they play against them, and that's going to better help me judge them. But, I do think they can make a run for it. I have to see how this all plays out.
All right, Freddie Henderson. Now, listen, if that bad man thing you about to let out is up 2 minutes, I'm going to cut you off to the next person. So go ahead, but be mindful.
I'm coming volume down, too. Get ready.
They're 5-1. The question is, are they a championship contender team? Yes, because anytime you have Aaron Rodgers behind that line making plays, the baddest man on the planet, yes, you're a contender because he's a bad man. He's like LeBron James. He'd make others around him better. But should they be the favorite? No, they shouldn't be the favorite. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC. You have the Saints in the NFC. You have the 49ers. They shouldn't be the favorites.
Seahawks. Don't forget the Seahawks.
And you got the Seahawks, and let's not sleep on the Cardinals, because you know what? As a Packers fan, I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm angry. You screwed up in the draft, drafting a quarterback, not getting the wide receiver, but then you still had a chance to get a number one wide receiver for dirt cheap and Antonio Brown, and you still missed. You still missed on him. Green Bay, you should be disappointed, but they're still a contender, but they definitely need another weapon.
Did you say Packers fan?
Hold on a minute. I like how Brandon Herrera, I don't know if you got that comment. Brandon Herrera says the Packers are pretenders, but will make the playoffs due to the extra spot. Now, listen, if anybody knows Brandon Herrera, he's a good dude, and he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. Now, listen, that rivalry goes on for the dawn of time. I think Jesus may have played the quarterback position for the Packers, and Satan may have been a quarterback, defensive end, or safety for the Minnesota Vikings. That's how old this rivalry is. I'm going to tell you right now. That's just pure hate, Brandon, on the Packers. Now, listen, you leave them alone. Y'all got enough beef as it is. Leave that team alone. All right, man. Hey, listen, we're going to move on for a hot minute. We're going to talk about AB for a minute. Antonio Brown. A good sign for the Bucks? What do you think? Is it a good sign, and what will that impact be? I think, and personally, I think the impact, if this man cannot be cancerous and just play the game of football, then he will be an excellent target for already injury-filled receiving core for the Tampa Bay Bucks. But he going to have to listen to Tom. Now, they already had one go-around of this in New England. Now, Tom has been lobbying for Antonio Brown to come here. So he obviously feels like he can mesh it and make it work. I'm going to listen to Phil General. I think I'm going to get Antonio Brown on the cheap because I know my receivers are hurt, and I'm going to rely on Tom to control the man, and let's make some magic. What do you think, Freddie?
I mean, of course, just like what you said, you have the greatest quarterback trying to get this man. I mean, if this dude can stay out of trouble on the field, he's their number one option. Their number one option. Because Mike Evans, he's not looking the same. You can tell it. So you mean to tell me you add a Antonio Brown, a Mike Evans, a Godwin, a Gronkowski, the running game, and the tight ends? And you say what impact? Dude, this team is already striving for greatness. This team is constantly getting better each week. You add an Antonio Brown, man, they're going on a whole nother level. And I'm making a bold prediction. This move is going to put them right there in the Super Bowl to be facing the Chiefs this year.
Cool. So not your Packers?
That is a very bold prediction, my brother.
Well, you're not
what you got, Chris Brown?
My Packers can't hang with them now.
Not a real fan. But listen here. I love this move. It is a great move. And I think we all saw this coming. Once, the NFL came out and said he's not going to be able to play until after week 8, we knew he was going to be signed, as soon as week 7, week 8 came around. Now, to me, the top 3 favorites were the Ravens, Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We already know him and Tom Brady have a great relationship. Bruce Arians came out and said we don't need him. I think he was playing mind games with everybody. They came out and they signed him. And I'm on pure things on the field, nothing off the field. Okay, let's just hope that everything off the field is fine. When we talk about on the field, on 98% of the teams in the NFL, whatever team he would have went to, he's the number one option. I think people forget AB is legit. Over 11,000 career receiving yards, dominated the 2010 era. He's coming back with a vengeance. He's going to be back week 9 against the Saints, and I do believe he's going to have over 100 yards. Listen, AB is legit. Freddie said Mike Evans is not looking the same. I think Mike Evans is looking great right now. 6 touchdowns, over 300 yards. You have Scotty Miller, who's playing out of his mind, looking like, that Wes Walker, that Jordan Edelman type of guy. You have Chris Godwin, who's doing his thing this year. Gronkowski. O.J. Howard is out, so you lose another weapon, but you replace him with Antonio Brown. This team is going to be fine. This team's going to hit on all cylinders. Antonio Brown's going to come back and dominate this year. And Tom Terrific might make a run for MVP. That's my bold prediction.
Before we go to Coach Cam real quick, I just want to acknowledge Mr. Herrera. He lost his aunt, and she said that she was a Green Bay Packers fan, so he's going for the green and gold. First of all, Mr. Herrera, Mr. Brandon, my condolences go out to you and your family for your loss. We'll keep her in our prayers. And, yeah, absolutely, man. So just because of that reason, I'm going to go for the Packers, too. You know why? Because my Cowboys suck. I'm not a bandwagon fan, by the way. But But for that reason, to honor her memory, I will actually root for the green and gold during those games. I will take a proxy when they play the Cowboys. I don't even know if I'll need the proxy because honestly, Cowboys can't even beat the damn last year's junior Division II team. So they're probably going to win that game anyway, whether I say it or not. But yeah, absolutely apologize for your loss. Coach Cam, what you got?
Oh man, I honestly agree with everyone. It's a great signing. You can't go wrong here. It's low risk, high reward. You just if he acts like he got any type of sense at all, you get an all-pro receiver. I mean, it's that simple. And I know what Antonio Brown can do. With me being a Bengals fan, used to see him twice a year. I know what he can do. And and it's more than an insurance policy, as Bruce Arians tried to state it. It's just an insurance policy. No. You're gonna see, they're gonna spoon feed him a little bit, his first couple weeks back, and then you look for week 11, week 12, it's gonna be full go Antonio Brown out there, and that's when you're gonna see a dangerous Tampa Bay team.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna have to wait and see, but I do think Tampa has a really good team over there, and I think if you had Antonio Brown, I really think that man if he could just play football, leave everything else off to the side, just play football, that could be one really dangerous squad. And I guess we'll wait and see what happens. I will say this is the first. No, you know what? I'm gonna say it for this question coming up. And this question coming up is very close to my heart. So if I cry a little bit during this, y'all just shut the hell up and let me get through it, okay? In that group price. The most disappointing team so far in the NFL. No, it ain't the Jets, because we all know what the hell the Jets are. It ain't Cleveland, because we knew Cleveland would would put up at least, at best, close to a 500 record. Ain't neither one of them damn teams. The team is the Cowboys. Straight up. Because everybody expected the Giants to be horrible, the Eagles to be horrible, and the Washington Redskins to be horrible, the Jets to be horrible, the Cleveland. I mean, all these teams to be horrible. And you get what you get. We did not. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody on this panel nobody, if you're really being honest, nobody on this panel expected the Cowboys to be this bad. And I'm coming to you. Just calm down. Let me get my little spiel out. You ain't even, we haven't gone around the horn yet. So put your damn hands down. No, Brandon Herrera, even the Vikings, I actually had them doing way better than the Cowboys. The fact that y'all going in rebuild mode, okay, that does kind of surprise me. But no, Cowboys by far are the most disappointing, disrespectful to their fans team. And Mike Nolan, I hope you get fired. I said it here first. You need to go, Mike Nolan, and take that garbage other quarterbacks with you. I don't like Mike Nolan. I'm sorry. I just don't like Mike Nolan. The Cowboys are hurt. I'm personally hurt. And it is what it is. But yeah, Cowboys are pretty rough. Chris Brown, no, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something different. We're gonna switch it up. Chris Brown, I want you to go first. Go ahead.
Yes, I think I have to agree with you. The Dallas Cowboys are the most disappointing team right now in the NFL. Now, me personally, I had my list, 2 months before the season of teams that I had a feeling were going to be disappointing. The Vikings were on there, and so were the Cowboys. Why? Because everything, messed up with their defense. I thought their defense would be a little better than this, but the defense is trash. Then you look at the offensive end. You have all those weapons, right? You're scoring 25 points, that's fine. But like I said, the defense is so bad. They're giving up almost 35 points a night. You have all those weapons. They have all these yards, all these great stats, but they're 2-5. And, everybody knows football is a game of inches, a play here, a play there. But there's a strong case to be made that the Cowboys are literally 1 or 2 plays away from being, 0-7 compared to their 2-5. Everybody hyped this team up. Zeke re-signing, Amari Cooper coming back. Everybody said this team is going to be great. I said, I do not see it. I don't see it. They're going to be the same team as last year. I feel like Mike McCarthy is not the best head coach. They say, we have a new head coach. Things are going to be different. All these Cowboys fans are saying things are going to be different. Things are still the same. Now,
Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question based on what you're saying. I want to further exasperate what you're saying. I want to ask you a question. So based on what you're saying, the Cowboys offensively are still the same team. The only problem with the Cowboys is they've had a lot of injuries on that offensive line. That's the only real change on the offensive side of the ball, because they still have the same offensive coordinator. Obviously injuries. Right, quarterback Dak going down now, any dog. So, but that's besides the point. The defense, in my opinion, like you said, that's where it kind of, and it doesn't even fall in the front seven. It falls come on the secondary. But let me ask you this. Do you think it's more of a player issue that they're so bad, or is it the coaching? Because I think it's
all the coaching. It's all the coaching, offensive wise, defensive wise. You said the defensive wise, it's the back seven, but it's the corners and the safeties, but the front seven is giving up about 180 yards on the ground. And then, coaching on the offensive side, you have one of the best running backs, and you're just averaging a little over 100 yards on the ground yourself. With Zeke, with Tony Pollard. So, they're disappointed. I don't want to say it's, all on their players. Yes, their players play bad here and there, but the coaching is terrible. The coaching is why this team is very, very disappointed. And if I'm, Jerry Jones and those owners, I'm getting rid of everybody now and just getting new coaching. I feel like you can hire somebody right now and they'll do a better job because at least they have the wherewithal saying, okay, Zeke isn't playing. It's not Zeke's fault when he's not getting the ball. Zeke is a top 4 running back.
Fumble though. Remember when he did? Remember all the turnovers he had and the rest. Come on, man.
He has to fumble. Listen, Melvin Gordon fumbled. I don't know 2 times just the amount of Zeke, and he ran for 12. He ran for 20 plus carries. When your best player is your running back, when you have your quarterback troubles, you should be running the ball. Freddie, I don't know why you're doing this. Like nobody cares anything you about to say. You're delusional. Point being is that they need new head coaching. It's not Zeke's fault. It's the offensive coordinator's fault. I hate their play calling, but they're going to be disappointed for now until they find new head coaching.
Hey, I want to say, and Freddie, we're coming to you now. Well, real quick, shout out to my boy Philip Tross, Whiskey Hour alumni. That's Whiskey Hour. That's Whiskey Hour alumni. My boy Phil Tross, he is correct. 4 fumbles. That's the issue with Zeke. His ball protection. Second one is yes, they have no damn heart. No heart. And their coaching is flat out terrible. And like you said, McCarthy is an old, outdated coach. I didn't believe it at first. I wanted to give McCarthy the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately, it is what it is. He just don't have what it takes in today's modern. He's not the analytical guy like all the rest of them. He's out of touch with football. Freddie Henderson, you're up. Let's go.
Calm down, my friend. Calm down. You're too emotional. You're too emotional. Calm down. I believe the question was the most. What was the question again? I didn't forgot.
You weren't paying attention.
Who do you think is the most disappointing team this year?
Exactly. And the last time I checked, the Cowboys not the disappointing team. Let's stop it. They've been like this for the last 26 years. This is who they are. Believe them. Maya Angelou says.
I wouldn't go that far, Freddie. That's a long stretch.
Maya Angelou says.
The credibility of this show, I can't let you go that far. The credibility of this show is at stake, and I'm not going to let you do it, Freddie. So I'm correct.
Maya Angelou tells you who they are. Believe them. And that's who they are. Okay? That's who they are.
We just practice.
Disappointing to me is the Houston Texans. When you have an all-time great quarterback in Deshaun Watson, you let Hopkins go for a bag of chips. This just shows you why Bill O'Brien deserved to be fired. Why he shouldn't be in Houston to get rid of an all-time great quarterback. A wide receiver. And if you think that the Cowboys are the most disappointing team, then you're wrong. Because this team have not been good years.
I'm going to go Coach Cam. Hold on a minute, Freddie. You had a long time. I give you a little bit extra time because I actually butted in on you. Coach Cam, I'm going to ask you the first question. Do you really think what Freddie is saying is true about the Texans? I don't think it is. I think after that trade,
everybody knew they were going to be bad.
I already knew what to expect from this season. But what you got, Coach Cam?
Yeah, I knew the Texans were going to be bad. I felt sorry for Deshaun Watson and said he should have asked his way up out of there as soon as they traded DeAndre Hopkins. Right. For me, I agree with it's the Dallas Cowboys, man. And the reason why it's the Dallas Cowboys is because when you looked on TV everywhere, everyone had the Cowboys winning something. Everyone had them winning something. Everybody had them making a deep run. And it's the same thing. They get down 3 scores in the first half. Dak gets a whole bunch of comeback yards because he has to throw the ball every down from the first quarter on. So he gets his 5,000 yards, and it's gonna look all. They were struggling with Dak in the lineup. They looked bad then, and they look terrible now. They have no heart, and they let Andy Dalton get smacked yesterday, and no one did
nothing about it.
No one did nothing about it.
And that's why I feel said they don't have no heart. Because if you got heart, you ain't gonna let your quarterback get you know what slapped. I'm not gonna say the word, but they get slapped like that, and you ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing.
That's soft.
Go ahead, Freddie. Oh no, I can't. I gotta get Chris Brown first. Chris had his hand up first. Chris, go.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to the viewers watching the show, this is why we call Freddie Mr. Delusional. You realize how everybody here says the Cowboys but him. This man said the Houston Texans, but we all knew what to expect when they let so many defensive guys go, when they traded away their wide receiver for picks and a running back, and they had one of the worst, if not the worst, running games in the NFL. This is why we call him Mr. Delusional. The Texans had no hype going into them. People on national television said the Cowboys were winning the Super Bowl. They said the Cowboys were going 12-4.
About 10 seconds left.
There was so much hype around the Cowboys. That's why they're disappointed. There was no hype around the Houston Texans. None whatsoever.
A phenomenal athlete. I have never called him a phenomenal passer, and I never will.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, go ahead, Freddie.
Go, Freddie.
I didn't hear you. So everything that you guys said before the season started, y'all didn't know this about the Cowboys before? Y'all didn't know that they was going to be trash? Y'all didn't see this the last 5 to 6 years? You didn't see that the same team the last 5
10 seconds on that repeat.
No, this is not a surprise. We've seen the same thing last year. What is
No, I'm sorry. No, Freddie. I'm sorry.
Cut him off.
This level last year.
Cut him off.
No, Freddie. Freddie. I can't let you, for the credibility of this show, I can't let you go there. But I will say this. The Cowboys, in my opinion, are tanking by injury. I mean, honestly, we're tanking by injury because they got so many dang injuries, and obviously the coaching's bad. I'm not taking away from how bad the coach is, but I'm just saying they got so many dang injuries. They ain't even got a field general. They got DiNucci, some 7th rounder guy that's just thrown out there for nothing. The poor guy just getting hammered all over the place. They're tanking by injury. I'll tell you right now. You know what? You know how the Cowboys can salvage this season? Is that the Jets and every other team that has zeros before the number of losses gets actually 1 or 2 wins. So the way the Cowboys can get first in the draft and we can draft somebody like a Trevor Lawrence. I'll go for it. Hell yeah, bring in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if they really need Trevor Lawrence. They got Dak Prescott. I'm just putting that out there. But either way, we're going to move on to the next question, which is Cam Newton. What about the play of Cam Newton? Is this play that bad? Is Cam Newton playing so bad, or has he been disappointed so far in this season? I'm going to take that real fast. Cam, I'm going to give him a kind of a bypass a little bit because it's a new system, and it's the first year with this guy. And, you know, they may have to work out some more bugs before he can become productive. I don't know if Bill Belichick is going to give him that long. He may not. I mean, obviously, he pulled the plug and he put Stidham in, but when he put Stidham in, he threw 2 more picks. So I don't think he really has a whole lot of choices here. I think you stick with Cam Newton, you let it ride out, and you keep working with him and try to get it better. But that's my opinion. We're going to start with Dave Chappelle, and we're going to work our way up. Go ahead, Dave.
Man, you killing me. You killing me. No. Cam Newton, I mean, the play has been, below average, to say the least. I mean, you look at it, he has 2 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That speaks for itself. However, this roster is just not very good. And it's finally caught up to the New England Patriots. And that's what it comes down to. They don't have any receivers that can separate. They relied on N'Keal Harry, and he can't separate from anyone. Edelman is finally showing his age, and honestly, it just shows how good Tom was, and who was more important in that duo. I feel like as I think the arrogance is calling up to Bill Belichick a little bit with this roster. The roster is just not good, and Cam Newton hasn't played well because of it.
Yeah, I agree, Coach Cam. I'm not going to give you no more hard time. I'm going to call you Coach Cam. I'm going to put that out there. Coach Cam, that's actually a really good take. I'm going to go diagonal because I know Fred is going to come with something crazy. Well, what did he say, Cam? I ain't got time to read all that craziness. Hey, Chris, take it. What you got, baby?
Yes. Man, yes, his play has been disappointing, but I have to agree with Coach Cam. He doesn't have a great roster. I understand everything with Tom Brady, he leaving, but this roster is way worse than the roster Tom Brady's had. I mean, you look at last game, they had, some of the wide receivers that played last year and this year aren't healthy. The running backs aren't there. The defense isn't there. So, yes, his roster is bad, but when you look at Cam Newton, 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, that's terrible. Never had a QBR over 80 so far this season, that's terrible. Outside of the Seahawks game, I mean, what game has he really had that made you say, okay, Cam Newton is really back? I mean, he's had some decent performances, but that's after the Seahawks game, I thought he was going to make a comeback to be maybe not the full Cam Newton, the old, but show he still has it. But right now, I don't know. I understand the system is new and all those things, but that's why they got him, to break the system, to add more things. Now, he is doing his thing on the ground. I got to admit, he does need some more weapons. But 7 interceptions so far, I mean, that's just terrible. He has to play better. I'm not going to say he's the reason why the Patriots are, team is so bad, but I will say this is not helping his case to find a new job next year. And I wouldn't be surprised, depending on where they have a draft pick, if they just re-sign him to a long deal and surround him with weapons. I don't know yet because his play's been so bad they might want to move on. But I hope he can pick it up for the second half of the season. So I want him to be a quarterback on some team.
Amen. I agree with that. I think Cam's come a long way, and I think he does deserve it. And I think it's just too early to tell right now with Cam, with Bill Belichick, because it's his first year. Yeah. Anybody else would give him a little bit of slack. Why can't we give Cam a little bit of slack and let him work it out with Bill Belichick? We'll see what happens there. Freddie, take us home on him, man.
Chris, did you want to respond before I go to that? Or
Chris, last night you said the roster and weapons are different than last year. Are you sure? I quickly looked and did not seem like many changes. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about that specific Broncos game. You look at who played versus who didn't play. A lot of those players whoever the San Francisco 49ers game, they had a lot of players injured. This year so far, you have Sanu who is left. That's a major weapon. Him and Cam Newton working on all season. I thought Sanu was going to have a big year. He's not there. So this team is different from last year. It might not be major changes, major big names, but it's wide receivers that he needs aren't there no more.
I'll tell you right now, that Cam Newton change was enough of a change from Tom Brady's style of offense to make a big impact, honestly. And they're going to have to work it out and figure out how to run that team now they have Cam Newton. I mean, that's a big, drastic change. Just like Tom had to figure it out in Tampa, well, Cam's having to figure it out with Bill Belichick, and come on, man. That's a significant change because this offense has never been run first, pass second. That's crazy. Freddie, what you got?
I agree with everybody here. They can do. Cam. If you ask Cam, do we have to be better? Of course, he's going to tell you he needs to be better. But this roster need to be better as well. When this dude do not have that many weapons to go to, there's not a lot of options that he can go to. Bill Belichick and that Patriot organization need to find a way to get this man another wide receiver, some running backs. They need to find a way to open it up for him, to let him do his thing. We all know when Cam Newton's in a great situation, we know this dude can be. We know this dude can still be that good quarterback caliber type of player. So we all agree here.
Yeah, and look, I think we just got to give Cam an opportunity and just let him work it out. Anybody else, we would give them an opportunity. We just got to and I think Cam's going to be all right. Well, at the end of the day, I guess we'll find out. We'll see if Bill needed Tom or did Tom need Bill. Right now, I'll be honest with you, right now I was looking like Bill needed Tom and not that Tom needed Bill because the way Tom is playing is a heck of a lot better than what Bill's producing over there. And Bill needs to actually really help Cam Newton out and get him familiar with what he needs from him. Cam needs to go to Dallas. But you know what? I don't know if he needs to go to Dallas necessarily because we got, as far as I know, we still got our quarterback, and I expect him to come back. I think, like you said, he's going to get his deal. But I do think Minnesota might not be a bad spot for him. If it doesn't work out with him there, then yeah, let him try it out in Minnesota, man. I mean, they're in a rebuild year. That's the only problem I have with it. Cam's a little bit older guy, and they're in a rebuild. And how long is that rebuild going to take? And where will Cam Newton and his prime years be? I don't know. That might be a kind of a rough scenario there, but we'll find out. All right. Hey, so Lamar Jackson, is he a top 5 quarterback? I got him I'm gonna tell you right now. I got Lamar Jackson tied at 5th with Kyler Murray for me. Right now, for me, I still got Patrick Mahomes number 1. I don't care. I still think Patrick Mahomes is the guy. I got Ryan Tannehill. I got I don't like Roethlisberger. I understand the Steelers got a better record right now, but they only got about a field goal. They didn't get it. They didn't blow them out. They didn't do anything crazy. They got about a field goal. And honestly, that game, had he made that field goal, not missed it, that game could have gone into overtime. Anything else could have happened. So I don't really take that game. I still got the Steelers and the Titans, in my opinion, at even. I don't think one's any better than the other. I got them at even. That game only ended because that boy missed that damn field goal. So I got Tannehill at number 2 in my opinion. I probably got Russell Wilson. I got Russell Wilson at 3. No, excuse me. Yeah, Russell Wilson at 3. I got Aaron Rodgers at 4, and at 5 I got Kyler Murray tied with Lamar Jackson. That's just my take on it. Go ahead. I don't know if he lost Freddie or not, but go ahead, Chris. What you got on your?
He probably left because anything, if in his eyes, if Aaron Rodgers isn't number 1, it's bad, which makes no sense. But
that's good because we're like,
yeah,
hey,
we don't need to be losing us anyway.
There's a little bit of heat, but we'll still go. Oh, but shit, there's Freddie.
In my opinion,
I want you to go. Give me your top 5.
Yes, he's top 5. I cannot have him at, he's not in the number 1, 2, or honestly 3 spot right now. I have Patrick Mahomes number 1. I have Russell Wilson number 2. Number 3 for me is a toss-up, but you're out your mind if you have him over Russell Wilson. You're out your mind if you have him over Patrick Mahomes. I'll tell you this. You put Lamar Jackson on the Seahawks team, they're not going to be 5-1. Believe that. For me, I think he needs to have another receiver for me to really see how great of he is as a passer. We see, he is limited in passing. It's not on him. It's that style of offense. They have 2 tight ends and they run the ball. So is Dez Bryant going to help change things up? We don't know. He hasn't played in years. He's 31. We don't know the impact he's going to have. But for me, he doesn't, there's a lot of questions I still have about Lamar Jackson. I think he's a great quarterback. I want him to thrive. But until he answers some of these questions, I cannot have him at the number 1 or 2 spot. To me, that's solidified as Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson. You can have it any order you want. As long as those guys are number 1 and 2, that's all that matters to me.
All right, Freddie, what you got?
Lamar Jackson this year is top 5. I have Patrick Mahomes number 1, have Russell Wilson number 2, Aaron Rodgers number 3, have Ryan Tannehill number 4, and then Lamar at number 5. He's in my top 5.
Over Cott? Never mind.
What'd you say?
Okay, my top 5, I had Kyler Murray in there. That's my only thing. But go ahead.
I'll tell you, hey, before we go in, you know what? Tannehill, I'm telling you, man, this is why Tannehill gets so much disrespect. And
I'm not disrespecting
what Tannehill done. I mean, I maybe you have, but you actually did, Chris. I think you had Tannehill. You did have Tannehill in your top 5. You know what would have been a better question, I think, in this scenario instead of Lamar Jackson would have been Ryan Tannehill. Is Ryan Tannehill top 5? Because the man gets so much disrespect. But I'm gonna table that for another day. Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson is the top 5 quarterback. It's pretty easy for me. If my top 5, I know a lot of people have Patrick Mahomes. I have Russell Wilson 1. I have Patrick Mahomes 2. I do have Kyler Murray at 3. I have Aaron Rodgers at 4, and I have Lamar rounding out the top 5. I just think Lamar Jackson has to just do what he does best. And get out of his own head a little bit. I think after that 97-yard game against Kansas City, he wants to prove that he's that pocket guy and that passer. Nah, just do what you do. That's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you a top 5 quarterback in this league. Using your legs and using them the way they use him. So I think Lamar Jackson's a top 5 quarterback in this league. He just got to do what he does.
All right, amen. Hey. Just so everybody's knowing, we are running a current T-shirt promotion, and here we go. How would you like a chance to win your very own ASAP Network T-shirt? Just become the viewer of the month by watching our shows and getting engaged in our show. Also, like and share and follow our page. Listen, guys, right now Brandon Herrera is kind of leading that contest, so I need everybody to step it up. Hey, we got to step it up. And, hey, listen, I want to award that T-shirt out to somebody. But right now, Brandon Herrera, man, you're number 1, I believe, consensus-wide commenter. And we appreciate you, Brandon. We appreciate you, baby. Hey, real quick, we're going to go into some baseball. We kind of finished up our football. We're going to run some baseball right now. Series is right now 3-2 Dodgers way. What do you think the most pressure's on right now? Do you think it's still on the Dodgers because they haven't got that championship yet, or Is it on the Rays because they're down 3-2, and if they lose one more, it's game over? Who do you think is feeling the most pressure right now? And I'm going to start that off with Coach Cam.
It's the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers for me. They just got a good performance out of Kershaw. You want to finish this game in Game 6. You don't want to go to a Game 7. You know, when it takes all, you don't want to mess with that. And especially with the Dodgers have been here time and time again and have came up short. If they go to a Game 7, you start to think, here we go again. And you start to get that doubt in your mind a little bit. They need to finish this off Game 6. And I think the pressure is on the Dodgers, clearly.
Okay. Freddie, let's go ahead and get you, man. What you got on this?
Man, Dodgers, handle your business tomorrow night. You have to put the pressure on the neck. Do not let up. If they let up tomorrow, there could be a chance that they lose this World Series. The pressure is on the Dodgers. You could not let this slip away from them. They let this slip, man. I'm afraid they lose tomorrow night. This series is over. I don't think they should be the favorites in the Game 7. I just don't. I think this is the best opportunity to bring the World Championship to the World Series to LA. This is our best chance right now. If they handle their business like I think they will tomorrow night, the pressure's on the Dodgers.
So is that a hot take? You're basically saying that if the Dodgers lose tomorrow and the series gets tied up, then you think the momentum will swing towards the Rays and the Rays would take it.
Yes.
I'm gonna put real quick on there. I think the pressure, and then we're gonna go to Chris, and we're gonna follow it up with Coach Cam. I think the pressure is on the Rays. Listen, man, I get the part about the Dodgers trying to get over the hurdle, but let me tell you something. They got over the hurdle when they came back and beat the Braves. Okay, they got their confidence when they came back and beat the Braves because they were down big time and they came back. So in my opinion, in their mind, they didn't have confidence in 2017. They just didn't have it. They didn't. I don't care what everybody says. Look, I'm not. No, you know what? I'm not going to go to Astros. That's a whole other comment. But look, they've gotten over that hump. That hump has gotten over. Okay, that's why they're up 3-2 right now in the series, and Clayshaw is pitching the lights out right now. I think the pressure right now is on the Rays because their pitching staff is suspect at best on the starting side, but they had the second best bullpen in the league. So I still put the pressure on the Rays because it's win or go the freak home. It's win or go home. That means they got to win 2 games in a row against LA. And let me tell you something. If it goes Game 7, you better believe all the starting pitchers are coming out. Kershaw's going to be playing. They're all going to be there. Buehler's going to be there. Joe Kelly's going to be there with his little smug face against the Astros. He'll be bringing that out. A little tongue coming out. Yeah, I got you, Joe Kelly. You're going to be doing that. I get it. Pressure's on the Rays. Pressure is on the Rays. And I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm rooting for the Rays because I like the underdog. I'm an Astros fan. Look, I'm so Astros. I go old school. I go back to when they were the Colt 45.
Colt 45.
Y'all don't even know that. But this hat is straight up Colt 45s, which was the first Astros hat. Dodgers might be over the hump, but they need to close the door. You know what? And I get that. And like Freddie said, and I do believe that, if they tie up this series and it goes to a Game 7, that's going to be one hell of a Game 7. I don't know about any of y'all here, and I'm gonna put this question up real quick. By show of hands, who the here wants this series to go Game 7? No?
As a fan, I do. As a fan,
yeah. You want to go Game 7 because you know when Game 7 comes out, all your starting pitching comes out. Everything comes out the closets. Oh, and here's the problem with that. If it goes Game 7, Freddie, this could dispel your theory about the Dodgers not getting it in Game 7. If it goes Game 7, the starting pitching still goes to the Dodgers. They got Kershaw, Buehler. I mean, the pitcher, it still goes to the Dodgers. So that's why I say the pressure is all on the Rays in Game 6, number 1, to even the series, number 1. And number 2, in Game 7, they're facing everything in the Dodgers arsenal. And that's a pretty hell of an arsenal. And you got Mookie. Don't forget about Mookie Betts. That's one hell of a player. All right, and I want to get about Arozarena, but we'll get it. Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
Man, no, like I said, game far as the Dodgers, I just feel like they have to win. I feel like they have to win because I feel like if you go say, and if you have to empty out your starting pitching, because they'll throw Kershaw out there again. Let's remember, let's go on history now. I understand Kershaw has done well this World Series, but history shows Kershaw in the biggest moments on the biggest stage does not show up all the time. So it'll be interesting throwing him out there in the game 7 with the pressure zone, the lights the brightest. Will he show up? Do you want to trust Kershaw in the game 7 in the World Series?
I think I would. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I understand that. I don't have to rely on Kershaw for the whole game. I just need about 2 to 3 innings from Kershaw because then I'm gonna get Buehler to come in and I'm gonna get Buehler's 4 to 5 innings. Then I'm at 7 innings. Now
hey, all it takes is one bad inning. All it takes is one bad inning. A couple bad pitches.
No, you're right. All it does is take one bad inning. I'm just saying. I'm not. Look, let's be understanding. The Dodgers going to have some pressure. We know that. We know the Dodgers going to have pressure, and what you're speaking to is that pressure. Can Kershaw do it? I just think the greater pressure is more likely on the Rays because of how good their pitching is, and the Rays. And let's not forget the Dodgers got a pretty damn good hitting lineup. That Mookie Betts. Hey, Mookie ain't nothing to play around with. Boston was stupid to let him go. But okay, and that's how I feel. So let me ask you this. So let's talk about next year. What do you think is going to be like next year? Who do you think? Because now we're going to have a longer season, right? So with the longer season in baseball, who do you think is going to have the better team to go that long? Yeah, he could, and they probably will bring him in the middle innings. That's why I kind of see him. I see him and Buehler both in the middle innings. Let me ask you a question. Forget that question. I'm going to go back to another one. In this series, how much, we're talking about pressure. Think about this. Arozarena, and I got you, brother. Arozarena is a rookie. This guy's a rookie. Look at all the home runs this guy's hitting almost every night. He's guaranteed 1 or 2 home runs almost every night for Arozarena. You talk about pressure. This guy's a freaking rookie. I don't even think he knows what pressure is. I think he just goes out there and plays like he's like in Pee Wee League way back when in the YMCA League. And he's just out there having fun playing the game, and he's lighting it up. And don't forget about Margot. Margot's lighting it up.
I love Margot.
Guys, man. I mean, they're both just playing lights out. I want game 7. I want game 7 so bad that I'm willing to let my wife know. I'm not going to say that. Chris Brown, go ahead, baby.
Man, to answer the question, I think the Dodgers right now, the pressure is on them. To me, here's why. You look at Game 4, they lost. The way they lost was crazy, but things like that can happen in sports. That can happen. So, they're arguably a play away. That things happen from winning this World Series 4-1 right now, but it's 3-2 going into Game 6. The pressure is on them to get it out right now because if fluke plays happen like that again, and it goes to Game 7. Throw everything out of the way, throw the stats away, throw this away, throw that away. It's about who wants it more. Now, if the Dodgers can say, hey, okay, I want it more and go out and perform, that's fine. But I'm not too sold on them. I think if it goes Game 7, I think the Dodgers will lose.
Yeah, I get that. Let me ask you a question. We're going to go one last question on the baseball, and then we'll move on to basketball because of time. If the Rays win the MVP, if the Rays win the World Series, who do you have the MVP being? And if the Dodgers win the World Series, who do you have the MVP being? Freddie, I'm gonna let you take that first.
Oh my bad. I'm sorry. It has to be. Oh, Chris left. Hold
on a minute. Hold on. Before you go, let me address this question. I guess he wasn't. Brandon Herrera, I guess you weren't on when we first started this program, but I'll go ahead and admit it again. Yes, I was wrong. My research was incorrect when I said that Arozarena would be the first rookie to ever win the MVP. Actually, it was 2 times beforehand. One, I believe, in 57, and the other one, I believe, was in 2004. So, yes, Mr. Herrera, I went ahead and admitted my wrongdoing. I appreciate you calling and blasting me out for the second time. I love you, Bubba. But, yeah, so there you have it. So, Arozarena will be the number 3 guy to probably win the MVP, in my opinion, if the Rays win. And that's still a pretty hell of a phenomenal feat to attain, and it's one hell of a good company to put into. Freddie, what you got on that?
Like we all know, the Dodgers are really known for their pitchers. They have an elite class of pitchers. So if they win the World Series, it would be one of the pitchers that get MVP. It could be, Coach said, Kershaw knows to hide under pressure. But guess what, Coach? I think the great ones, when the second chance arrives, when another chance arrives, I do think they elevate. They ready for that next chance. And guess what? They have a next chance. It could be him. It could always be a Buehler. I'm sorry, I know I messed his name up.
Rosarena?
Yeah, it could be one of them guys. So it will be one of the pitchers from the Dodgers.
Okay, what pitcher specifically? Because if the Dodgers win it, and it's a hard call for me because I love Mookie Betts, man. I really fucking love Mookie Betts. But if it was going to come down to a pitcher, I still got Kershaw being the MVP for the Dodgers. If it's going to come down to a pitcher, and I got a Rosarena for the Rays. Chris Brown, who you got?
Are we reading notes? Like honestly, are we reading notes? I think
you just think a lot of life,
yeah,
bro.
We think alike. I do think that rookie will be able to come in and win, the MVP. And also, to Freddie's point, if it comes down to Game 7, which pitcher is able to take over? That's the bottom line. A pitcher has to be able to take over, perform best, and put their team in the best, opportunity to win. So I do think if it comes down to Game 7, it will be one of the pitchers.
All right, and Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
I'm gonna go somewhere different with the Dodgers, man. I'm liking Seager. I think a lot of people slipping on.
Good call.
Yeah. Seager, he's been performing well. He was the NLCS MVP. He's carried that momentum into the World Series. Timely hits. I think it would be him if the Dodgers were able to pull this off, even if it's in 6 or 7. I can see in Game 7 him pulling off a key hit to help them go up and win the World Series. And I do agree with Tampa Bay, the rookie.
I mean, that guy's so lights out, isn't he?
If Tampa Bay finds a way to win that, he will definitely win the World Series.
You know what, Coach Cam? Rosarena, only because I have bad memories of this, but Rosarena reminds me of Soto from the Nationals. Remember how hot Soto was?
Yeah,
the Nationals
Juan Soto got really hot.
The Astros. Mm-hmm. Like that guy could do no wrong, right? Like he was on point, and that's kind of the same way I feel about a Rosarena. I feel like a Rosarena is just mimicking, kind of. Actually, not only is he mimicking, but he basically is up the ante from what Soto had already established one World Series prior.
Yep.
Any chance we can get a co-MVP being a both team cause that rookie? I don't think so. I think if the Tampa wins that, Rosarena is getting that MVP, and I think that's not even a question. I think that's just flat out. I do think on the Dodgers side that could be, but the reason why I think honestly though, and I understand the speaker, that's a really, really, really good pick. The only reason I say that I wouldn't agree totally with it is because pitching for the Dodgers is paramount. That really is paramount for those guys winning that ticket. And when you got pitchers or hitters on the other side that are so hot like that, like in Margot's history, Lowe's history, because now remember, Lowe's coming on too. Lowe hit 2 home runs in the series.
Yeah, he did.
And then, I just say with that potent of a lineup, that pitching has got to be on point in order for the Dodgers to carry home that trophy at the end of the day. But that's just my take. We'll see what happens. Either way, I'm still pulling for the. I like the underdog. I'm pulling for the Rays, and I really like to see Rosarena take that hardware home. And I feel like any team that beat the Astros, I want them to take the trophy. That way we can say the only team that beat us in the World Series was. But all right, hey, we're gonna move on. So all right, so we got T-shirt. So we got T-shirt ad. I don't know. Thoughts on the NBA's plans with the reschedule update? What do y'all think about the NBA's plans to return?
I'll let Chris go with this one. Start with this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so there's a lot of reports saying that the NBA is going to go to a 72-game schedule. The return day is looking, and I thought it was going to be honestly past the new year, but right now, a lot of reports are saying December 22nd, which is right before Christmas. So hopefully we'll be able to see a Christmas game. Also, a lot of reports that are no All-Star break, no All-Star game, no All-Star weekend. That's not going to be added. And, also the play-in tournament might be in play. Just not only, it was on play this year, it might be in play for next year. And I think it's something the NBA is looking to add, for a lot of seasons moving forward. So with the 72-game schedule, I don't think that's, that much of a change. You taking 10 games away, 10 games is 10 games people rest. They play off. They're not playing. So I don't think that's big of a problem. But then when I look at the All-Star game and an All-Star break, now they're still going to have the 2-week break, but they're not going to have the game in the weekend because of COVID. And so hopefully by, February or wherever they are targeting, hopefully they can somehow adjust it and say maybe we want to have an All-Star game, an All-Star weekend, because that's something for the fans. The fans love that. The fans love seeing the best of the best playing in the great pickup game.
Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
No, I at first I agree with Chris. I thought it was going to be around January where we'll get some basketball. But you know what? The NBA is not crazy. They're very smart, and they know that they can't give up Christmas. You cannot afford another sport to slide in on your day. NFL has Thanksgiving. We know college football owns the New Year. Christmas is for the NBA. You cannot let nobody slide in and take your coins on Christmas. Period. I think it's a great idea. It does hurt that we're not going to have an All-Star game thus far. But, I do like that they started. We got to have some ball on Christmas. That's just period. We got to have some ball.
We need something on Christmas. I mean, for the love of God, man, I can't imagine Christmas without some level of sports.
Right, that would be terrible.
All right, Freddie, what you got, baby?
Man, I think it was me and Chris Brown was talking about this. Like, man, this is gonna be weird waking up on Christmas morning, not turning on the TV, not watching the game. I'm so glad they brought it back on Christmas. Thank you, NBA. Thank you. But I'm gonna touch on the point that you guys didn't touch on. They're actually talking about bringing it back to the teams' arenas, bringing some fans.
I would love that.
And it comes to a point, hey, I'm very serious about the COVID stuff. It comes to a point where, it comes to a point where you just have to go to work. I mean, everybody here gets out and go everywhere else. Things have to start picking back up, continuing to do things, but also be safe at the same time. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and do it at the same times. And I will say what's last thing before I let go. If I believe in any commissioner to get this right, it is Adam Silver. This dude gets every situation that pops up, he handled it in the right way, and he always gets it right. So if I trust any commissioner, it's going to be Adam Silver.
I agree on Adam Silver. I don't agree with what you said prior to that because, look, let's be honest, guy. There are people violating the bubble even when the bubble was around. You really think that? Because if you think that, I got a Brooklyn Bridge and a unicorn flying on top of the Brooklyn Bridge, and Santa's going to join them for a midnight rendezvous if you believe all that craziness. It's not going to happen, Freddie. You're either going to have that bubble and have it be successful. If you let these guys, or you put them in a hotel and you keep them sequestered in a hotel every single place they go, if they don't find a cure or a cure for the virus prior to next year's season starting or this season, whatever, they're better off. I hate to say it. I don't want this, but they're better off keeping it with the bubble style. That's just where they're better off. If you want a full season where every team has all their starters and you don't run into COVID issues and they're running into scheduling problems because one team tested positive or their staffers tested positive. Come on, man. All you're doing is open up a can of worms. Go ahead, Freddie, for the rebut.
One thing you do have to realize, you are talking about grown men. You're talking about the bubble. They're going just like sending them to jail. These dudes miss their family, miss their friends. So, I mean, we do have to understand on that part. They are sacrificing a lot when they are going into a type of a bubbles type situation. So, I mean, I don't know how to make it right on both sides. Honestly, I mean.
And that's the point, right? Nobody knows how to make it right on both sides. So if you don't know how to make it right on both sides, just keep the bubble until a virus is found. So that way, all of us can enjoy basketball and don't have to watch freaking cornhole and every other stupid sport when I go to the dang Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings, nobody wants to see cornhole. Nobody. So just keep it in the damn bubble until you get a cure for the virus, and then we can go back to life as usual. That's just my 2 cents. We're gonna move on to the next topic because we're getting short on time. Hey guys, listen. I want everybody here to get it. Somebody get a dang T-shirt, and I want multiple people to come into this. So how would you like your chance to win your very own All Sports All Plays Network T-shirt? If you want to win that T-shirt, just become the viewer of the month by watching the shows and getting engaged in our show. Also, like, follow, and share our page. It's very simple. It's so easy to win that T-shirt, and we want to see you guys sporting it right now. Brandon Herrera, you're still you're like the number one uno until somebody takes it away from you. All right, guys. One more. Let's go into something else. Who will be the Lakers? Or correction, is this still a debate? Who the best player in basketball current players now? We're not doing the whole history thing. Currently in today's situation, who is the best player? Cole Monroe is amazing on TV. I can't watch it, Brandon. I can't, Brandon. There's not enough alcohol in this world that can watch cornhole. There's just not enough alcohol, man. And I've tried so many times. Who is the best player in the NBA in today's game? You know what? I want Chris Brown to take that first because I already know what Freddie's going to say. Chris Brown, go ahead.
It's LeBron James, and it should be no argument. He meets every single criteria. Last year, they tried to take away from him. They said, oh, it's Kawhi because he won the championship. But Kawhi didn't win it this year. It was LeBron. They tried to say, oh, it's Giannis because he won MVP. That's fine. Giannis didn't go nowhere in the playoffs. They tried to put KD in front of him. KD was injured. They tried to hold that against LeBron last year because he was injured. LeBron made every single criteria. He won Finals MVP. He was dominant in the regular season. He was dominant in the playoffs, dominant in the finals. This dude is still dominant. They tried to take his crown away from him last year, but this year he proved why he's still the best. You know, throwing stats the way he dominated the stats, but he dominated the game in year 17. Listen, nobody in the game is better than him. He sunned all these young guys. They're all his young bulls, as which he should say, because he's still the crown. He's still the best, and nobody's taking that away from him until he decides to retire.
All right. Coach Cam, we're gonna go to you next, but before you speak, I swear to God, if you say LeBron James and don't put somebody else out there, I'm personally gonna come to this screen. No, I'm not gonna do that. Come on, really, LeBron. No,
better?
I'm gonna wait till it's my turn. Coach Cam, What you got, baby?
I'm not a LeBron fan at all. I'll be the first one to tell you. But it's LeBron James, man. It's LeBron James. There's nothing I can say for him not to be the best player. It's like Kawhi and Giannis had their chance to take it this year. It was their chance, and they blew it. Simple. Giannis didn't even make it to the finals, so he don't even get a chance to even contend for it. That's what hurt me the most about the Bucks because I wanted Giannis there to even to contend for it. And then Kawhi, what we saw him in that fourth quarter of that game 7, you can't put him on the same level. LeBron showed that it's LeBron, and then there's everybody else. I think at least until KD comes back, and then I think it's a 1A, 1B type of thing. But outside of that, LeBron James.
Jerry McLeod, you go.
You know, God, I freaking hate this, man. I hate admitting when I'm wrong. I so want to freaking argue everybody here, man.
I wanted to argue too, man, but
there's no argument.
I do, man, but you don't understand how bad I want to argue. Okay, let me just say this. In my personal opinion, who I love the most right now, listen, if we go back past achievements all the way up to now, it's going to be Braun, and I get that. I get it. Okay. And I'm talking about with the current players of today, not of future, but today. But I just want so bad to root for Anthony Davis in today's NBA to be the best because he played so freaking well in these playoffs. Like he was just so dominating in these playoffs. That's how bad I just want his name to be out there. But if I look at the points scored and all the other stats, Braun did have the most points and so forth. So by default of technicalities, it's taking everything out of my life.
I know. Come on with it, man. Come on,
but honestly, you look. I'm not look. Just I can admit when it is something is what it is. And LeBron James in today's NBA is the best out there currently on the market. Nobody's gonna. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Freddie. No, you know what? We're gonna take a momentary pause for about 2 seconds here because I have a different question. I got the question I really want to ask. Out of all of us here on this screen, the only one that has not heard this question or has not been allowed to talk about this question is Coach Cam. Coach Cam, to prevent me from calling you Dave Chappelle going forward, I need you to answer this question. Mm-hmm. How many more years do you put LeBron James at the elite level? Because I almost destroyed my friendships on this network over this very question. And I take this question very seriously. And before you answer, Coach Cam, before you give me this very serious answer, I want to lay out some information to you. And then I just want to put it all out so we're all the same level playing field, okay?
All right.
I had a friend of mine. I shouldn't say had. I still have my same friend. And he's very dear to me. His name is Joe Stevens. Okay. And Joe Stevens played for the Houston Rockets, the Vancouver Grizzlies, and the Utah Jazz as a forward. Okay. Most notably, he played for the Houston Rockets 96 through 98, and he faced off against Pippen and Jordan and several other players.
Gotcha.
Now, his philosophy is basically this.
Okay.
An NBA player only has so many jumps. I'm coming back to you, Freddie. Thank you for noticing that. An NBA player, but I felt like this was more important, and I'm going to come to you after he says this. I'm coming straight to you. So just hold your horses, my buddy, good friend. An NBA player only has so many jumps in their career. They have so many jumps in their NBA career before their body is just done. You understand? Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, how now at LeBron's age, and correct me if I'm wrong, is LeBron he's about what, 35, right?
35.
34, 35?
35.
35. Okay. My contention is I give Bron about 3 to 4 more years of elite level competition. Not that he can't go 5 or 6 more years. I'm not saying that. But at the elite level, when we're talking about Bron, was where Bron is right now. I give him 3 or 4 more years, and then he will slide down that scale of eliteness. Where would you put that, Coach Cam, in terms of how many more years of eliteness do you put on LeBron James's career?
I believe, as far as elite goes, I believe he has about 2 or 3 more years. Father Time is undefeated in any sport. Eventually, and I'm not saying it gets to a point like LeBron's going to turn into a bum. That'll never ever happen. He's always.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jordan wasn't a bum when he played with the Wizards. I mean, he was still at a good level. He just wasn't Michael Jordan.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Eventually, it catches up to you. No matter how much you are of a Superman. And LeBron James is the ultimate Iron Man. But at some point, your body breaks down. It's gonna happen. It happens to all the greats, no matter how much physical shape you're in. It's just so many miles. It's only so many miles you got. And I think about 2 or 3 more years of elite ball, and then he'll either retire.
Average ball player.
I won't even go average. He'll be good. He will always be at that good criteria.
What I'm saying is, when we're talking about my whole contention, my whole argument was that I give LeBron about 3 to 4 years left of eliteness. And after that 3 to 4 years, he's going to slide down the scale, and somebody else is going to take that over. He can't stay to elite. I'm sorry, at 35, he can't stay elite beyond 3 to 4 years. It's just his body just ain't built like that. Nobody's body is built like that.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Freddie, what you got? I know you're gonna hold it up.
Let's just stop it. Put some respect on his man name. Put some respect on his man name. Chris, they counted him out. They said it was Corral Town. He taking over LA. He running the Staples Center. And we see what happened. We sent him running back home. Y'all seen that? But I like the to double down on what Jay McLovin said. You know, much respect to his buddy that told him that information. But didn't we just hear LeBron a few weeks ago say, they asked him how long do he have left in the tank to play on elite level? And what did he say? He said, I have years left, dude. He said, it's going to determine on my family, my kids, whatever. But he said he still have years left in the tank.
Okay, and he can say that, but is he God? Is he God? Does he know what God says for him physically?
He knows better than anybody else.
Sorry, if you ask me that same question from a financial aspect, I would say the same damn thing because I'm trying to get all these ducats. I say the same damn thing. I'm not about to tell you my ass got 4 years left of eliteness because that might rob me of some money.
This man knows his body better than anybody else does.
No, he don't know better than God.
This man spends millions and millions of dollars on his body year after year after year. So I'm not gonna say how long he can play. I'm just gonna take the man by his word. He said he still have years left in the tank. So I'm just gonna sit back and witness greatness because that's
and I agree. But at least I want you to hear it from a very reputable source, which I think Coach Cam is a very reputable source of what somebody else thought. So all right, we're gonna move on. So who is the Lakers' biggest competition? No, excuse me, I apologize. I was right. Who will be the Lakers' biggest competition in the Western Conference at the next level? And I'll start off, and then we'll go to Chris at the bottom, and we'll work our way up. So I think personally, who's going to be the next competition if they make the right adjustments? I think the Denver Nuggets. I think Brady will retire before LeBron James, but no. Okay, I put Denver Nuggets. I put Denver Nuggets having the best chance, given what they put out in the playoffs. I think they might be maybe one more big if they can get it in the draft, and I don't know if they will be able to. But if they can get either free agency or draft, I think there may be one big. But I don't know if they even need the big. I think with their current team, if they just get some more with the experience they got this year, they could come back next year and give them. So I'm giving my opinion would be. And now listen, we also got to go through free agency, and any one of these clubs, the Mavericks. God forbid if they get a big man in Milwaukee, if they get another big or get Chris Paul at the point, I mean, where could they go? Or Miami, if they get a big, I mean, so there's so many teams out there depending on where all these bigs go to. There ain't that many of them, but Embiid, Giannis. To tell you, and I think Mavericks. If the Mavericks can get either one of Embiid or Giannis, then I put Mavericks at the best. And if they don't, then I still have the Nuggets. But it's gonna base on my opinion where Embiid goes and where Giannis goes. Chris, go ahead and take it.
Embiid's not a free agent, nor is he getting traded. He's the corner piece to the Philadelphia 76ers. There's other big that's going to get traded, but Embiid's not it. Yeah. That's not going to happen. But, I think you read my notes, but I also think great minds think alike. I had the Nuggets being that team. To me, the Nuggets were very close to winning, more than one game in the Western Conference Finals. I think if you add, the key free agent, obviously you re-sign Grant, but if they can add a DeMar DeRozan or maybe add some more, you said another big because they have Will Barton coming back. And Nate, I'm not reading your comment. And Michael Porter Jr. to me is going to blossom next year. I think the Nuggets are the front runner. They have, they have the wings, and if they can, have a defensive big man in there because Jokic is a liability, I think they'll be good. Then you said the Mavs. To me, the Mavs have it all. You have Luka, you have Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps and AD going to go at it. Luka and LeBron going to go at it. But who is going to be the key role players that can step up? The Rockets could be in the Clippers, but the Mavs and the Nuggets are my two in the Western Conference. And for the East, it's anybody. The Nets could be a part. The Sixers, the Heat, the Celtics, the Bucks. Anybody in the East can come out. But in the West, I think there's only a couple teams that can really give the Los Angeles Lakers the run for their money.
All right, Freddie, what you got, baby?
Let's realize, like Jay McLovin said, free agency haven't, kicked in. I do believe that we're going to get a third star in LA. But the only team one of the teams that I think will give the Lakers the most problem is the boys in the Bay. No, San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors. the Golden State Warriors. When you talking about the two of the greatest shooting backcourt, you talking about Steph and Klay Thompson.
Rebuttal.
Steph and Klay Thompson. That who can shoot the ball like out the park like crazy. They are snipers, and the Lakers are definitely going to get some perimeter players that can keep up with them. You still have Draymond Green, you have Andrew Wiggins, who like Chris alluded to on the show a couple times already, that he's going to have his best season under Steve Kerr's system. They do have that number 2 pick in the draft, whether they decided to draft somebody like a Wiseman or they decided to trade it off to get a ready now player. I do expect them to work on that bench. So I'm gonna say Golden State Warriors in the West, and in the East, like everybody says, it's really up to grabs because you really don't know how Brooklyn's gonna go with Kevin Durant coming back off that injury. You still have the Bucks. If they're able to get a Chris Paul over there to team up with Giannis, you have to worry about them. And then Philadelphia, let's not count them out, man. They finally got a coach in Doc Rivers that's going to get Joel Embiid in that post, work him in that post, going to make him look like an MVP type player in this league. So we cannot count them out as well. So it's the Warriors in the West and whoever in the East to step up and get ready to play.
Hey, Chris Brown, was your rebuttal going to be that you think Golden State should be probably number 1 and Denver Nuggets number 2, or what you got?
It was going to be they should be somewhere on the list, but I just want to say, Freddie, the last time we kind of had this conversation, and I said the Warriors are going to be some good competition. You've written them off, so it's just funny to me. Mr. Delusional now wants to add them into the list, but the last time I brought this up on the show, you said, "Oh, we don't have to worry about the Warriors. It's the Lakers. It's the Lakers." So it's just funny to me how you change your mind. No, you cannot rebuttal. Coach Cam.
No, you can't. Coach Cam's up next, and I only gave him that because I knew he'd be quick. Mm-hmm. Coach Cam, you're up, baby. Go for it.
Hey, Warriors a solid pick, especially with that number 2 pick. That's a key piece right there where they can add something or really get another future piece that can hold them after Steph and Klay get older. But you know what? I'm going full bias mode. Dallas Mavericks. I feel like we was.
Oh, you're feeling me on that, are you?
Yeah, I am. I feel like we was Kristaps Porzingis away from beating the Clippers, to be quite honest with you.
Thank you.
Game one, they ejected him prematurely. I feel like we had that game in the balance before he got ejected. That was huge. He's a rim protector.
That's a hot take.
On defense.
Yeah, that's a hot take right there about Porzingis.
Porzingis was huge. Porzingis was huge. I really feel like everybody said we need like a big man, and we do. But I think we need more of a wing defender more than anything, someone who can knock down the 3 and help defend the perimeter. Luka's not much of a defender, we know that. But if we could get somebody that can get stops and make it hard on other team perimeter score because they just let Kawhi score at will in that series, then you talk about a different ball game. So I think a piece here, and I think Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches in the NBA. Doesn't get a lot of respect for that, but I think he's a top 5 coach. And in any series, I think we can be competitive with any team in the West.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw a quick question out there before you go, Freddie. I gotta throw this out. I'm gonna throw this out there because we're talking about this. I'm gonna throw it out. My question to throw out is this, and we're gonna start with Coach Camp. Listen, I want quick answers on this because we don't have a lot of time. But I gotta throw this out there. How long do you think, in terms of years, do you think it's before Luka Doncic's name is mentioned for league MVP?
I mean, it could be next year. I mean, it could be.
You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with that?
Oh yeah, within the next few years.
The elite level of Bron, right? And so, Cam, you think it might be next year?
I'm not as far as winning MVP. Yes, that's very possible. I mean, he could have easily he finished. I believe it was like top 5 this year or something. But I mean, he easily could have been. He easily could be an MVP next year, especially if they get a seed, like a top 3 seed in the West. Absolutely.
What do you got, Chris Brown? Number of years.
I don't think I know next year he'll be up there. He might even win it. Like Cam said, if they're able to get a top 5, I don't think even think it has to be top 3. I say top 5. If the 4th seed, I think he will be an MVP. His stats, he's flirting with 30-point triple-double. Everybody know how talented he is. I think it was because he was the 7th seed. He didn't get a lot of love. Once he's a top 4 seed in the West, the MVP is his. Nate, no, it's not 1 year. It's 2. It's next year, baby. Know that.
Freddie, I know you're going to say Bron, but go ahead and give me your number of years.
No, of course, Bron gonna be a part of that, but he ain't gonna get it. I definitely agree that Luka is Luka, like Chris said, as of this upcoming season, this dude puts up crazy numbers, like numbers that you don't really see often. 30 points, triple doubles. I mean, this dude is the influence for his team to win every night. This dude, like I mean, he's a show to watch. He's not just putting up numbers. You turn the TV on to watch Luka because you want to see what kind of crazy step back this dude is going to do, what kind of crazy game winning shot that he's going to do. His team is going to be winning next year, so he's going to be in the conversation for MVP this upcoming season. Because if James Harden can put up these crazy numbers and Luka's doing the same thing, it's time to put some respect on Luka.
It is. I think Luka doesn't get the respect, honestly, that he really deserves, and that's why I don't see why his name hasn't been put in the conversation of MVP even this year. Honestly,
I want to say one thing though.
Yeah.
What Chris said, Chris, I'm not worried about the Golden State Warriors. I'm just saying that who's the big contender to the Lakers. I'm not worried about them. I'm just saying that let's get that straight. I ain't worried about nigga. We should still be the favorite.
Time's up, guy. Last topic. Here we go, baby. Can KD ever be considered one of the greatest? And because Coach Cam has already kind of talked about that a little bit, I'm going to give this all to him. Go ahead, Coach Cam.
Oh, man. Can he be considered one of the greats? That's tough. I like KD a lot, man. I think he's one of the best scorers. I think possibly he is the best scorer that this league has ever seen. As far as his mid-range game, can get to the bucket, can shoot the three from 30. But it's hard just the way the perception is for him to be considered like one of like the best of all time, just because of how he got those rings with Golden State. And with me, I know he was the driving force for those rings. Like they don't win those rings without him. I know that for a fact. But the perception is going to be hard for him to be considered one of the greats. Like, and there's nothing wrong with being like maybe a top 10, top 15 player of all time. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But as far as him being like a top 5 best player of all time, I think that's hard. He's going to have to do some major damage and winning championships in Brooklyn.
Good take. Chris Brown, what you got, baby?
I do think eventually his name could be up there as one of the greats. You know, Coach Cam said it. I do believe when you talk about scoring the ball, he is going to go down as the best scorer in the NBA. You know, shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm not disrespecting none of the legends, but here's why. This man can score at all 3 levels: the paint, the mid-range, the post, and shoot from 30. He has handles. He's a 7-foot guard. He can play every single position. I mean, you look at his career stats, has, you know, the 2 rings, over 22,000 points, but he missed 2 seasons. So if you add 2 seasons of 2,000 plus points, he's going from 22,000 to possibly 26, 27. And then a couple more years in the league, he can be in a 30,000 club, which is the elite of the elites. You know, with the ring situation, I do, you know, my thoughts on the move is neither here nor there, but I do believe, you know, that wasn't the question. It was talking about is a great player going as one of the greats he will be. But, you know, I do think he was the reason why they won a championship. They're not winning without him. So I do believe, depending on what he does with the Nets, he'll be considered one of the greats. But in my eyes, you know, people look up to him. And if you have players, you know, younger generation of great talents looking up to you, then you're going to be one of the greats. All the greats now, they have the generation after them, look up to them. He's in that level, so to me, he's one of the greats. He's way higher than top 100. Jeez.
Hey, before I go to Freddie, I want to go to Brandon. Is he top 100? I would absolutely, unequivocally put KD in the top 100. I don't even think that's even a close.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's my point. That's not even like a consideration. Like, yeah, KD is absolutely top 100, and like you said, top 30 even. Freddie, what you got, baby?
Coach already said it. You know, even though he went to Golden State, he was a leading factor for that team. The reason why they won those championships. He can be great one day in this league. He definitely needs to lead Brooklyn into a championship. Yes, I said it. If he want to be one of the greatest of all time, he needs to lead Brooklyn to a championship. Because I mean, let's not be mistaken here. He didn't join a team and try to be the focal point of the team. He joined the team that was already in championship mode. Let's not forget that. He joined a team that beat him that beat him in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So,
that's not why I'm making his face though.
Oh, okay. Let's not get it mistaken. So he definitely needs to lead Brooklyn into a championship, which I think he can, depending on how he come back.
I don't know, though, Freddie. Don't you? He might be able to build that team in Brooklyn if they put the right pieces, or to continue to add on the right pieces around him. There's no reason why they can't. Let me tell you something. The New York market is amazing, and if KD is there, and if Kyrie is there, there's no reason why they can't add on to what they've already got and continue to add on to that team and make that team legit.
Hey, and Jamie Glover, let's not get it mistaken. This team is already loaded on the offensive end.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, depending on Kyrie and KD this year, depending on how they are able to gel with one another, they can make a run for it this year and the year after. So, I mean, it's
absolutely.
What about the coaching, though?
I love Steve Nash as a head coach.
I think that right now they're talking about a coach by committee. They got Steve Nash, which is a player's coach. They got Kyrie and Kyrie Irving. All three of these guys, all three of them are on the same page that they're going to coach this team by committee for the most part. I guarantee you.
Every team does it. They just don't admit it, but every team is a coach by committee. One coach, right, focuses on the offense, helps out the offense. One coach is a defensive-minded guru. Yeah, so, absolutely. Every team like that, they might not come out and say it. The Nets are just saying it, and people acting surprised. Listen, Steve Nash and his offense, and Amari Stoudemire player development, I love that move. But Steve Nash, they're going to be one of, in my opinion, not even one of. They're going to be the best offense next year. Believe that. The best offense.
Is he better than the human highlight reel? God,
Dominique? He's underrated. Can I just say how underrated he is, scoring that many points? People think he's a dunker, but you talking about multiple seasons of scoring 20 plus, 25 plus at that. Dominique Wilkins is very underrated.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, he is. So, matter of fact, Chris Brown, me and you had Dominique. Remember, we were on the same page with that.
Yes, Dominique is so underrated.
Dominique was nice.
Oh, absolutely, Dominique was sweet, man. KD, I'm telling you right now, KD is a bomb, man. Honestly, I can't wait to see what he does. Now, I will say this. Now, he tore it. Now, and I want everybody to remember this. Now, he tore his Achilles.
Yes,
that's the same injury that DeMarcus Cousins went through. And you see where DeMarcus Cousins is. Hold on, I got you, Coach. I'm coming to you. You see what happened to DeMarcus Cousins, though. He's spotty. He's in there and out. He hasn't really kind of come back to full, in my opinion, what full health is. He hasn't gone a full year. And that's what worries me for KD, who relies a lot. Now, you could say, well, KD's a catch and shooter, and he can still do other things that doesn't require that Achilles. But I think that Achilles could still come back to bite him in the butt, like it's bitten DeMarcus Cousins. Because remember, DeMarcus Cousins was LA. Nobody knows where DeMarcus Cousins is going now because he hasn't been back on the court since he messed up that Achilles last go around. What's your take on that, Coach Cam?
My take on it is that I think more so than anybody, KD could come back from this just because of his body type. You look at people that didn't come back from Achilles, look like DeMarcus Cousins. He's 6'10", he's like 280, 290. Like, he's heavy. It's just not that's not ideal for a center of that size to come back from Achilles.
Okay, injury. I got a follow-up question for you. You ready for the follow-up?
Sure.
I'm going to go back to the follow-up, which is a question I asked earlier where I talked about LeBron even. Like I said for my boy Joe, and he makes a valid point. A guy's got so many jumps in the league. Now, that man just tore his damn Achilles. Right. Achilles. Look, you can come back from a lot of things. ACL, MCL, PCL.
Achilles is probably the worst.
You can come back from
all that. Achilles is the worst.
But when you mess up that Achilles, how many, in your opinion, how many jumps, and in terms of jumps, we're going to talk about years, how many years of eliteness will that take off of KD's lifespan in the league, given that tear that he took?
You taking his prime. You took a prime year away from him already. Mm-hmm. You taking.
How much more beyond this year do you think that he will
injury? Because we were talking about Kevin Durant and LeBron, who's the best.
He was taking that jump,
and he was taking that leap where KD was becoming unstoppable.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Right. So you took about a couple years off of that. I'm just hoping he could come back and give us 3 to 4 maybe solid years.
Okay, so based on that, Coach Cam, my follow-up question for you is simply this, and I'm going to every one of y'all, if you raise your hand, you can certainly comment on this as well. All right, got you, Chris. Let me ask you this: so, what can the actual expectation be in terms of how good of a player he will be when he does come back? Will he still be the same KD, or can we suspect a decline in his performance level when he comes back, given that injury?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man, but I still think he give you 25 plus a night. I still think he give you buckets. I think he'll be in the post a little bit more. I think he'll be more of a 1-2 dribble pull-up shooter. He won't get to the basket as much as he used to, I don't think. But his jumper is so smooth.
But that is
he's
my
going
question.
To give you 25.
But what you're saying is, okay, that kind of answers my question. But this is what I'm really looking for. So what you're saying is he'll come back and play well, but his role will be altered. In other words, he's not going to be the driver to the basket. He's going to be that pull-up jump shot shooter, right?
No. I'm just saying, him attacking to the basket, maybe he may do that less. But as far as production, I still feel like him and Kyrie is going to give you 25 plus.
And you don't think that injury will have any bearing on his psychologicalness? Like, in other words, is he going to be worried that if he attacks the rim, will this Achilles tear happen again on him? That can weigh on an athlete.
I'm going to go real quick so others can go. But I really think that he took his time from this. He knew he took, like, DeMarcus Cousins rushed back.
Yes.
Remember that. KD said, I don't care what's going on. I don't care if we come back in the bubble. I'm taking my time. So this is like a full year and a half now.
That's a good point. That is a very – with that, Chris Brown, you had your hand up. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so, him and DeMarcus Cousins' injuries are different because DeMarcus, like you say, he came back early, but then he messed up his quad, then an ACL. DeMarcus Cousins was playing with injuries. Kevin Durant took his time to come back. And when you're talking about, his production, to me, Kevin Durant is going to average 25 plus easily. I think this year, honestly, he might shoot 10 plus threes. With this team, with Spencer Dinwiddie, with LeVert, with Kyrie, those guys driving, I think this year is going to be year Kevin Durant becomes, the best shooter in the game. I think he's going to average 10, 11 three-pointer attempts. He's going to hit 4 or 5 of them. Kevin Durant is going to dominate, at what he has to do on the court. He's going to do it well. I don't see his production coming back. He might start off slow as far as just getting his feet back under him because he hasn't played in, almost a year and a half. But, when things start to pick up, the old Kevin Durant will come back. Yes, an Achilles tear is probably the worst thing to come back from. But his skill set, the different things he can be on the court, he doesn't have to, have to be athletic, have to jump over everybody, jump every single play to be, dominant. So given his skill set, I do think it's going to be tough at the beginning, but he will average 25 plus in my opinion.
All right. Before we end this show, Brandon Herrera, who's been a very avid commenter, I want to give him this ability to ask this question because I think he deserves it. Can I ask a question about a local NBA? Who is being more selfish, the Wolves or KG? Issue is about retiring his number. Ownership won't, and KG does not want unless the team sells. We're gonna go around the horn on this. I'm gonna start with Freddie, and we're gonna go to Chris, and then we're gonna wrap it up with Coach Cam. Freddie, what do you think about that?
Hey, KG just want a better product on that floor. KG, he has that. He's one of the players that has that Mamba mentality in his head. He's a dog, man, and that's what the dogs do. He's not about self achievements. He wants to put a better product around the floor, in which Minnesota, with Carl the town, have yet to do, and hopefully this year will be a different story.
All right, Chris, what you got, baby?
I think it's a mixture of both. I wish the team would sell so he can buy it, so he can improve that team, because I feel like ownership has, this team has been bad. He was there. They weren't the best team. They didn't surround him with talent. He left. They've been bad ever since. So I feel like, they should just sell the team. But as far as him getting his jersey retired, I know it's a beef with the organization is one thing, but from my understanding, from all the, the fans I have that love him, that love Minnesota, do it for the fans. Forget about the organization. Do it for the fans. Let them celebrate you. Understand that, you're a dog, this, that, and the third. But the fans want to celebrate you. I understand the beef with the organization. That's fine. But let you and the fans have that moment because the fans, stand up and applaud him. I seen a guy take off his shirt wearing KG stuff all over his stomach. KG is loved in Minnesota. That love didn't go away when he left. So let the fans enjoy the moment, you and the fans, and find a way to buy the team so Minnesota can be dominant. They have the players, but the organization keeps messing up with GMs and coaches. Fix it, Timberwolves.
All right, Freddie, you want to wrap this up for us?
No, it's Coach. I went first.
Oh, my bad. Coach, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I was in my wrong order. Coach Cam, I apologize. I'm not trying to take it away. Coach Cam, what you got to wrap this up?
No, you're good, man. Hey, I agree with Chris, man. At some point, KG, you gotta let him retire your jersey. It's the honor you. It's the honor you. You know what I mean? It was some of your best moments. Obviously, he won a championship in Boston, but you think of Kevin Garnett, you think of Minnesota Timberwolves, and but the front office has to do better. It's ever since KG's been there. You make an underhanded deal with Joe Smith that causes you tons of picks.
Cost him everything.
Build around KG for the future. I mean, they've been screwing this organization, the front office and GMs for years. So I understand where KG's coming from, but you got to put that to the side to get your jersey retired in this case. So I agree with Chris on that.
That messed up everything that Joe Smith did.
Right. For Joe Smith.
Hey, let me ask you this. Why doesn't KG, he got all that dang money, why are they going to go put his friends up and go buy the dang Wolves?
He's trying.
He's trying. They're not trying to sell. He wants them to sell. Yeah, they're not trying to sell. He tried. He's trying. He put together people, him and his own money. He's trying. They're just not trying to sell.
Yeah, I don't know what. Okay, I got you, man. Hey, go ahead, Freddie. Hey, I want to throw it. Last time, Brett, how would you like a chance to win your very own ASAP Network T-shirt? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even have an ASAP Network T-shirt, so I want somebody to win a dang ASAP T-shirt. All you got to do is very simply comment, share, and like our stuff. Now, listen, guys. I want you to, honestly, if you like our stuff and if you appreciate what we're putting out, like and share it. Like and share it so we can get out to more of the masses. We're asking that just as a humble request. And because you do that, whoever does it the most, we're going to give you a freaking T-shirt absolutely free. I don't even pay the dang shipping and handling. Hey, listen, if you've enjoyed this conversation, Hot Sauce Network, Philip J. Truss III from Whiskey Hour, Nate, and everybody else that has commented. Appreciate you because your comments make our show so much better, and we really truly enjoy hearing from you. And I hope that you've enjoyed the content that Freddie, Chris, and Coach Cam have put out. And maybe a little bit of what McLovin put out. I don't know if I have all that much, but I try to put my little these big heavyweight titans. Except Freddie.
Yeah,
Freddie's a middleweight. Chris Brown, Coach Cam, Yellow Titans. Freddie, I'm sorry, but because you tried to say that craziness earlier, I gotta give you that middleweight.
Oh, whoa. I heard that. Hey, maybe Cowboys or something.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed vibing with us and if you like the content, Susan, Paparazzi, Accessories.com, go there. Hell, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Hell, Christmas is right around the corner. Get your girl a $5 necklace and a cheap freaking earring and call it a day. There you go. Today's show is brought to you by Susan Paparazzi Jewelry, where all products, lead and nickel, all products are $5. Special offer for ASAP Sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazzi.com or accessories.com. Promo code 160920. $5 get you a necklace and some earrings. Come on, man. Christmas coming up. She ain't gonna know. I ain't gonna tell. Ain't nobody gonna tell. Get you some $5 earrings and a necklace. Perfect for Christmas. Listen, guys, this is ASAP Real Talk for Freddie, Chris, Coach Cam. We love each and every one of you. Please come back and tune in to tomorrow's show at Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We love you. We out of here.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All